When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. When the world ends, all you hear is the... You see a story on the back of your eyelids detailing the events leading to the end of the world. When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. The beginning of the end is when you were born. A pretend image of a mother who looks younger and prettier than your mother is holding a pretend image of a very infantile you. You are in a blanket. Your mother is in a white hospital gown, but it's somehow arbitrarily more beautiful than it should be. Like it was made for one of those fashion shows, where the models wear clothing that looks terrible and weird, but the judges love it or hate it the same way you might judge somebody for layering improperly. Either way, the audience applauds. When the show ends, all you hear is the applause. When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the end of the world from the back of your eyelids. You see yourself take your first steps, and you hear yourself say your first word. Ball, or mama, or kitten, or multifarious. You're as adorable as it gets. Tiny and stumbly and squeaky and stupid. So where did it all go wrong? These are the thoughts you have as the end of the world plays out behind your eyelids as you begin to hear the silence. When the world ends, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you a fucked up memory. Your mother is as proud as any mother would be. She's beaming from ear to ear.
My little button said multifarious. My little button said multifarious.
When your mother smiles, all you hear is the word multifarious. Multifarious, adjective, of or pertaining to variety. Synonyms include multitudinous, heterogeneous, a lot of, multifarious, multifarious. When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. Years later, you ride a bike, and you don't like falling and hurting yourself. You don't scrape your knee because that would be cliché. Instead, you fall flat on your face and stand up with a broken nose. You've never broken a bone in your life, but the end of the world behind your eyelids tells you that you broke your nose. Do you know who to believe anymore? Even though you refuse to touch the bike again, you eventually learn how to ride. Your mother is proud. Multifarious. She becomes even more proud when you begin to write music. Beautiful melodies consisting of intricate chord structures. You are kind of a prodigy, or so it seems to those around you. Remember the piano piece you wrote and performed in 9th grade? It won the juvenile composers competition that your school put on. It was the only entry. Nonetheless, it made you proud, or so it can be assumed. Soon after that, you begin entering compositions into competitions, and who would have guessed it? You start winning, and winning. You begin winning first prize trophies and making your mother say multifarious. Soon enough, sad music becomes all you can write. When the world ends, all you hear is the fat lady crying. But it isn't long until you're able to leave your mother behind and move into the world by yourself. You attend a university, meet somebody, go on a few dates, break up, and find an apartment wherein you'll live alone for several years. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the calm before the storm. When you turn 29, you begin to get psychological help. You meet somebody again, but this time it goes well. Marriage, kids go to school. You begin composing for a smallish movie company in California. That pay isn't a lot, but you like your job. Years and years of the same. Until the depression returns, and the divorce becomes a thing, and you don't get the kids, and all while this happens, your mother is admitted into hospice care for glioblastoma. It kills her in a month. When the world ends, she cannot remember the word multifarious. 2 weeks before today, the company you write for goes bankrupt. You lose your job, the love of your life, your mother, your children, and your mind. When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this broadcast. And here you are now, after opening your medicine cabinets for eyelids, caressing my body, reading my warnings.
Caution, contains acetaminophen. Always read the label.
Did you know an overdose can kill you? Let me kill your pain. Enough of me and I'll shut down your liver in minutes. When the world ends, you begin to second guess. When the world ends, all you hear is the silence. Actually, that's wrong. When the world ends, all you hear is my voice saying, "My work here is done, honey. You didn't have it so bad."